just place your feet together side by side, and then what you're going to do is turn your toes out to the corners of the room, and you're going to realign your heels with your toes. Now what that does is that just brings you underneath your hip bones, because in fitness Pilates, if we stand too wide, the abdominals don't have to kick in. And if we stand too narrow with what we're going to do, you might wobble. And I don't want you to feel like you're unconfident in any way, shape or form. So I want you to be really, really secure. So we're going to start with our feet under our hip bones. And I want you to evenly distribute your weight between your right and your left foot. Pick up the big toe, let the feet breathe into the floor. And almost think about having 4 points to your foot. Your big toe, your little toe, and then 2 either side of your heel. Anchor those points so you're really secure. Take a moment to evenly distribute your weight, so you're not standing more on one leg than you are on the other. And then you're going to track up through the body. Now we're going to put our tension in our muscles, not our joints. So I'm not going to lock my knees. I want you to keep them really nice and strong. Come up through the body and then really squeeze the muscles in your butt. They play a huge role with your pelvic floor health and your lower back health. So I want you to keep these really nice and strong and powerful. Pelvis comes into a neutral position. So I'm going to take a moment to rock our pelvis forward and back and just see how that feels today. How much movement have you got there in the pelvis? Mine feels quite stiff. I trained yesterday. I feel quite tight in my lower back. So just be aware of that, how that feels for you. All the way forward, point A. I would never want you to exercise in that position. All the way back, point C. Again, I wouldn't want you to exercise in that position. We're going to find point B, somewhere in between the, kind of like the midline between the two extremes. So A, C, B, in between. That's known as your neutral spine, and it's the safest place for your lower back and the most effective place to engage the abdominals, so keep them really nice and strong. Lengthen up through the rest of the body, grow tall. Let your shoulders come away from your ears, neck is lovely and long. You're going to place one hand on your rib cage and you're going to place one hand on the front of your belly. And all I want you to do is focus on your breath. So you're going to breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the nose or the mouth, whichever suits you. As you're breathing, think about what's happening under your hands. And I'm hoping that as you're breathing in, you're feeling your rib cage expand, you're feeling your belly expand. And then as you breathe out, you're feeling them move back inwards. So you're getting that connection between your body and your breath. And you're also moving your breath from a shallow breathing to more diaphragmatic breath. What we're going to do is on our next breath, as you exhale, I want you to tense your tummy muscles. So think about them being firm and strong. We're going to keep that connection from hip to hip all the way across. And now our breath just comes through the rib cage. So as we breathe in, we feel the rib cage expand. As we breathe out, we feel it move back in. There's no change here. This stays really strong. And once you know that's going on for you, I just want you to relax your neck. So let's take the head over to the right. Roll the head down and round, over to the left. So big circles through. See how that feels as you move. If there's any tightness there, or if you need to stay on one side for a little bit longer, then please do. Otherwise, whenever you bring your head down the next time, we're then going to start to move the head up and down. So chin comes on the chest, and then you're going to look to the ceiling, depending on where you are in your house, maybe in your garden as you're doing this. See how that neck feels. You might want to open your mouth slightly as you take your head back, just to relax that jawline. Head comes down, and we're going to stay with shoulder roll here. Up to the ears and back down. Think about how that feels in your upper back and your neck. It comes up, we stay with our shoulder roll. But I want you to rotate both backwards and forwards. And see for you which gives you the best release. So for me personally, it's backwards. But I've got a fair lot of clunking and clicking going on. So if you're anything like me, you might feel the same. Be aware of that. Okay, right hand's going to come onto the right shoulder and let's rotate. You can bend your knees a bit here if you need to. Think about how that feels, and only if it feels good for you, circle the whole arm round. So what's your mobility like on this side? How close can you get your arm to your ear without moving your head? And then change over to the other side. And all you're going to do for me is compare your left to your right. So how does that feel? Is there a difference? Do they feel the same? Now only if you want to, start to rotate and alternate right and left. Otherwise you can stay on just a single side. Perfect. So some of you will want to keep your body facing forward. Others of you will want to take that and open that back. See how that feels. We're trying to let go of the tension we might be holding on to in our shoulders and our upper back. From here, I'm going to bring that right arm over and then change. So a little push over with your hip bones. And that hand reaches over as far as you want. Keep the abdominals braced. So we're not going to lose that tension on the tummy. Well done. Let's take the arm back on the diagonal. I want to open your chest. Have a little look where you're going. Bend the knees. Take that pressure off the lower back. Well done. Let's do 2 more. And then you're going to roll those arms forward and then release that. So head down and then head back. Chin on the chest and then come back. Big movement here. That might feel really nice or really not nice, depending on how tight you are. Well done. Rotate through your lower back here. Loosen off. Okay, we're going to take the feet wide now, and I want to stretch out our inner thighs and our hips. So taking these feet as wide as you want them to be, let's push our hands from right to left. If your inner thighs are tight, gang, they will affect your balance. It will change the position of your pelvis. So I want you just to really stretch that inner and outer thigh out. If you want to stay in the stretch for a little bit longer, please do. Otherwise, you alternate just in your own time. Perfect. And then when you're ready, bring your feet in. Have a little pedal push through here. Feet underneath the hip bones again. We're going to anchor our heels to the floor. Pull up lovely and tall, brace the belly. I'm going to take your right leg forward and back. Now if you need to hold on to a wall, please do. Or a chair, whatever you've got there. Option 1, stay in contact with the floor. Option 2, I am going to brush that leg forward and back. We're trying to mobilise our hip, but we're also just trying to wake up our tummy muscles at the same time by doing a little bit of balance. See how that feels? Stay low if you prefer. I'm coming across and open. So into this inner and outer thigh and opening up the hip. Option 1, stay in contact with the floor. Option 2, we lift. Again, doesn't matter. You choose what's right for you today. And again, if I'm moving a bit too quick, you move slower. vice versa. If you want to move quicker, go for it. I'm going to bring this leg around the front and around the back. And I'm going to ask you, how's this leg doing? Are you feeling that fire yet? I know I am. Feel that work coming through your supporting leg. Perfect. And then pedal through your feet. Ooh. Take that little release. Get the blood flow going back into the supporting leg. Okay, pull up strong and tall. Squeeze the bottom and let's bring the left foot forward and back. So again, you can lift if you want. What I want you to focus on is the length of your body and your shoulders staying lovely and long here. We're not going to sink into that supporting side. So we're going to keep upright. And squeeze the muscles in the bottom as you go back. Well done. Come across and open. And again, just think about how that feels in your hip as you move. You can lift or stay low. Well done. And then are you ready for your rotations? We're coming around the front and around the back, just to really get that hip to be warm, but also this leg to be warm, yes? So when that fire gets a bit too much, back to your pedal push, loosen up. Perfect. I'm going to come to the back of my mat. Feet under my hip bones again. Now brace the belly, squeeze the bottom. We're going to take a half roll down. Drop your chin on your chest and then roll forward. Hands come onto the thighs just above the knees. We then create a flat back. It's a lovely long spine like a table. Push your bottom out, look forward, and then roll up through the spine. As you come up, option 1, just roll the shoulders. Option 2, lift the arms above the head. Option 3, little baby back bend, and then you go again. So always lots of options in my class. Just do what feels good for you. If it feels better to stay with the shoulder roll and then go again, do it. So we're working these extensors in the spine. Brace the belly. Think about how that feels as you move. Now guys, you are the only ones who know how your back is. If you've got any problems with regards to your back, to do with certainly the discs in between each vertebrae, you are going to stay with this. Also, if you've been diagnosed with osteoporosis or osteopenia, you are going to stay with just this. Otherwise, if your back's really nice and healthy and you want to, you are going to take a full roll down. Inhale. Exhale and you can roll. Chin on chest. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Rolling over, lifting and lowering in your own time. So we never have to force it. Keep it going just in your own time, either on the halfway or onto the full roll. Letting that spine release. Well done. Okay, I'm going to come down to the floor. So, if you are here with your hands on your thighs, you're just going to make your way down to the floor here. Otherwise, if you're in that full roll, just roll out into calf stretch. So we're going to bend one knee, feel the stretch in the other leg, and change over when you're ready. I want you to push through. Take the weight out of your hands. Anyone with shoulder problems or wrist problems, you might want to come down on the elbows. And that's totally fine as well. So let's give these legs just a chance to release, get ready for a little bit of work later. I'm going to hold both legs straight when you're ready. Push back. Take a breath. We drop our knees to the floor. We're going to sink to return. Now, some of you might want to take your knees wider and let your body fall forward, and others of you might want to have your knees together and fold over. But whatever you're doing, I want you to know this is your rest and recovery position. You can come here anytime you want. Press back. Let's take the hands over to the right hand side of the room, left hand on top, head comes down low, let's stretch it away. Take a breath, inhale, exhale, change over, other side. And then come back to centre. And I'm hoping that you're feeling nice and warm. So let's bring our hands under our shoulders and our knees under our hips. You're going to create a lovely long spine, so a real nice table position here. Do something for me and just check if there's any hypermobility in your elbows. I have. So if I don't concentrate, the insides of my elbows shine forward to you, and they shouldn't. They should turn inwards. So I need to just kind of almost screw my hands into the floor and get those insides of my elbows facing each other, so that we're working into our muscle, not our joint. So whenever you feel ready, we're going to brace the belly and then start to lift opposite arm to leg away. Lower down when you want and change over when that feels good for you. Just move at your pace, your tempo. But there's a couple of things I want you to think about while you're doing this. Keeping the abdominals strong, so don't let the tummy collapse. Can you flex your foot? So dig the heel away. That's going to engage the muscles in your bottom deeper. When you lift your hand, can you turn your palm in so your thumb leads? And that's going to engage the back of your shoulder a little bit more. And you're going to feel these postural muscles in the back of the body really working. So the back of the shoulders, the lower back, the bottom, all kicking in as we do our Superman. Pressing away. And if you want a breathing pattern here, we can breathe out as we lift. Breathe in as we come back. Stay here for as long as you want. Rest anytime you need. Otherwise, I'm going to challenge your balance just a little bit. I'm going to move you out on the diagonal. Open up the pelvis, open up the chest. So not only are you challenging your balance, but this is giving you a directional pull on your tummy, and also it's opening up your pelvis and making your pelvic floor muscles kick in, work harder. So I'm working through the outside of your bottom just a little bit more. Think about how that feels as you move. Are you more wobbly? Do you want to go back to just doing it forwards? And you can. This is your class, your practice. Great work. I am going to do 2 more. So let's breathe and press in and then release. Well done. Sink it back. I'm going to take you all the way down to the floor, and we're going to work our postural muscles just a little bit more into our upper back, our lower back and our bottom. Can you take your arms away from you, lovely and long, in a V position? I'm just going to move forward so you can see me. At this point, if you want to place your towel underneath your head, like rolled up, you can use it as a little bit of a block there. Squeeze the bottom, thumbs up, retract the shoulder blades back. Come forward, and then retract again when you wish. Squeeze the bottom, have the legs as wide or narrow as you wish. So this is option 1, head stays down. Option 2, we've got a little back extension. I'm retracting those elbows back. But I'm keeping my neck and head in alignment here. Thumbs are up. So you are pulling and retracting. If you wanted to, you could do this kneeling. You don't have to be down on the floor if that doesn't feel good for you. If you want to work your bottom a little bit more, let's lift the leg. I'm just going to get you to breathe easy. I don't want you to hold your breath or force your breath in any way, shape or form. So just take your time as you're moving. And when you need to push back, stretch it away. So if you're still going, just make the next one your last one and then push back. Have that stretch. Well done. I'm coming up to kneeling for you, and I want you to grab your towel at this point. We're going to place this underneath our left knee, and your right leg is going to come forward. So I want to stretch out your hip flexors before we start kicking into quite a lot of tummy work. Because if these are tight, they're going to play havoc. So they're going to kind of prevent the tummy working as well. So I'm bringing you into two right angles with your legs. So it's not a deep lunge, it's here. And we're going to rock our pelvis forward and back again, just like we did at the start. Point A, point C. So let's move through those. I'm going to turn side on so you can see me. And I'm going to stay in point A. Now I know I said we'd never exercise in point A, but we can stretch here. So we're really tucking that pelvis forward. Feel that deep stretch there, front of the thigh into the hip. You can come out anytime you want and then come forward again. As you lean back, you're going to feel a stretch coming into that hip and the thigh. You could lift the arm up if you want, and you could tilt over. So it just depends on how that hip feels for you today. Release, change over. So our towel goes underneath our other knee, just for a little bit of comfort. Let's rock our pelvis forward and back. Now this is definitely my tighter hip, so I can feel this kicking in straight away. So let's come forward, stay forward, tuck that pelvis, almost like your tailbone through your legs. If you want to lift the arm, you go for it. You can lean over. Tight today. And then release. Well done. Okay, I'm bringing you seated. We are going to use our towel as well here. Fold it up, and I'm going to place it back behind you, almost like a little cushion. Now you could use a cushion if you want, if you've got one handy. And we're going to press back for a little bit of stability, but also to make these abdominals work harder for us. Our legs can be bent, they can be straight, or we can place the soles of the feet together if we wish, wherever you feel comfortable. Push back onto the towel and start to get some engagement happening in the abdominals. So you may start to feel a bit of a shaky feeling going on. Letting these tummy muscles kick in. We're going to exhale, brace, and then start to lift and lower the arm. Now you can rest anytime you need to. So at any time you want, you are going to fold over and take a breather. Otherwise, I am going to challenge these abdominals for you today with our different arm positions and different leg positions to see how they feel. Use your breath. As you lift your arm up, try and breathe out. But don't worry if that gets you in a pickle. Just breathe easy. What it will do is as we can exhale, we can engage our abdominals a bit deeper. And we can engage our pelvic floor muscles a little bit deeper as well. See how that feels? As your arms start to ache, take the arms out wide to the side. Now a little push back and then lift. Breathe out and breathe in. How's that feel? This is working crossways, across the tummy. Doing superb. So again, remember, you can rest when you want. Do what feels good for you. Otherwise, we can take our arms more on a diagonal. Now everyone's going to feel things in different places. Some of you are stronger in certain areas than others. Do not worry if you feel your back working too. We are working the whole of your waist, all the way through, like a cylinder. Good work. So you take your breather when you want it. I'm going to then pull back on a bow and arrow with my right arm, and then on my left. So exhale, press. Inhale up. Option 1 is to stay with an elbow. Option 2 is to open door. So see how that feels as you move. And the height of your hand will make a difference. So if you go up quite high on the diagonal as you turn, you'll be working higher up through the side of your waist. If you move kind of more shoulder height, you're working more in the middle. And then if you go back low, or if you're going with the bow and arrow, you're working lower around that kind of side of the hip, lower back, waist area. You've all got your own goals and the things that you want to work. So you can stay with the hand position that you prefer. And remember to rest when you want. Otherwise, anytime you're ready to move on, I'm going to keep the hands still. Let's bend the knees. Push one leg away. Bring it in, and then slide the other leg away. Where I'm going with this is we're working lower abdominals. So you're going to feel this quite deep down. The area from your belly button, your pubic bone, coming through. These are tough, so just do what you can. So again, you can do this and stay here, rest when you want. We could add in same arm as leg. That's going to channel all the way down one side of our body. Woo. Or if you're really feeling strong today, take both arms, one leg. Oh my gosh. Woo. Again, do what's good for you. I'm going to make that one my last one and then take a good release. Wow. Yeah, you would have felt that in your back as well. And we're working everything as a whole. And often, sometimes we feel it in a certain area when we've got a little bit of an imbalance. So if you felt it more in your back than you did in your tummy, your back's probably a little bit weaker than your abs. Your abs are stronger. Likewise, we can sometimes feel it in our thighs if we're a bit quad dominant, and that can kick in. That's why I try to stretch those hips first. So whenever you're ready, let's come down to the floor. Give your back a release. So this now is your rest and recovery. You can come here anytime you want. Otherwise, you might want to place your towel or your cushion just behind your head so that you just alleviate through your chest. The neck and head is lovely and long. I want you to come into your neutral spine position here. So take a moment to rock. Find that position for you. Brace the belly. Relax the arms. And then when you're ready, you're going to lift your legs up, tabletop position. Your knees are over your hip bones, and our shins are parallel to the ceiling. Imagine I'm going to stand over you with a big basketball, and I'm going to drop it on your belly. I want you to let that basketball bounce straight off. So it's not going to hurt you. That's how firm and strong your abdominals are. Keep that connection. And then slide one leg away, bring that back in, and then slide the other leg away and bring it back in. Now we can check if our knees are coming in a bit too close. And we do that by extending our arms up on a diagonal, so the heel of my hand is going towards my knee. So not my fingers, because my fingers can bend. Heels of the hands. Now if my knee touches the heel of my hand, I know I'm coming in a bit too close. Some of you might prefer to put the towel underneath your bottom. So now your pelvis is tilted slightly, and that might be more comfortable for you. So see where you want to be. Breathe it away. I want to tap into a little bit more pelvic floor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that leg and then I open it out to the side. Bring it back in and then bend it. So I push that leg away, open it out to the side, bring it back and then replace. Toes up to the ceiling, so try not to turn out of the hip. And this leg stays still. So as I'm bringing you through, we're really thinking about keeping that other knee still there. Good work. Can we do one more each side? You can say no. That's totally fine as well. And then give those knees a good release. Give that back a nice release. Okay, I'm going to remove that towel. Arms wide like a scarecrow. Roll the knees from right to left. So this next move can be used as a little bit of like a double-ended sword, either as a release or as an exercise for your waist. You choose. So if you want to keep it to a release, you're going to just roll your knees from side to side, feet on the floor. You can take those knees as wide as you want. Or bring yourself back, brace the belly, back in your neutral spine, legs come up tabletop. Little gap between the knees, or you could have your knees together. Some people like to use their towel. And you're going to roll your knees over to one side. Come back to centre, over to the other. Now I'm not going to let them crash. Instead, my shoulders are acting as stabilisers. So just rolling over however you feel you want. We could extend the top leg. And then change that over. Remember, you can go back to your back release anytime you want. Superb work. I'm going to do one more each side. So take your time. And then release. Good work. Take that little breather there for you. Amazing. Okay, one more tummy exercise and then everything is just a little bit of a release. We're going to bring it down. So from here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to place that towel underneath my bottom. I'm going to lift my legs up, straight up to the ceiling. We're going to take a scissor. Now I'm going to flex my feet and start to feel the length coming down the back of my legs. Brace the belly, do as many as you want and rest when you need to. We can turn the heels in, toes out, a little bit like Mary Poppins' feet, to engage our inner thighs, our pelvic floor a little bit more. If we want to work our abdominals a little bit more, we're not going to come up so high. So we're going to make it more of a shorter scissor, a little bit lower, more on the 45. Okay, and we've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, woo! Release, good work. Amazing, take that release for you. Superb. I'm going to bring your feet down on the floor. If you've got anything behind your head, just get rid of it at the minute. Relax the arms. Let's tilt our pelvis forward and back again. Just coming into a little pelvic tilt. I want you to allow that back to relax and release. Now you can have your feet as wide or as narrow as you wish. There's no law, so feel free to move them. If you get any discomfort in your knees, take your feet further away. And then only when you're ready, we can start to roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Come up to a little ski slope shape, and then roll that back down vertebrae by vertebrae. So you're going to peel up, and then roll down. And don't worry if sections of your back feel like they're going up and down in chunks. That's quite normal if you're quite tight in your back. This move just might need to be a little bit of homework for you. So only when you're ready, you're going to come up, lift your arms up with you. They can go back behind you to the floor here and then articulate slow vertebrae by vertebrae. When your coccyx hits the floor, bring your arms down by your side. So let's roll up again when that feels good for us. So this move primarily is for your spinal mobility. And I just want you to keep that going, lifting it up and then lowering it down. Take your time. Anytime that you need to, you hug your knees into your chest to release. We're going to circle round on our lower back, massage our lower spine. Make sure you go round in both directions. And if you've got your ankles crossed, just cross them the other way. I know that's going to feel weird, but trust me on this one. Just helps to level off your pelvic bones in the back of the body here. We take a full body release. The arms above the head, the feet straight down, let's stretch. Superb. I'm going to slowly bring you up to sitting. Sit comfy for you. Right hand down, left hand over. Stretch the waist where you've been working. And then change that over to the other side whenever you're ready. Good work. We're going to extend our right leg. Now you may wish to use your towel, if you want to, as like a little band or strap here, to just lean over that leg as far as you wish. Couple of deep breaths and allow the body to sink further into that stretch. Opening up the back of your leg, taking your head down as far as you want to. Take a breath and then change the legs over when you're ready. So again, coming over. Obviously, if you don't need to use that towel, you can hold on to the leg. Take your breath and just ease that off. Superb. We release. I'm coming all the way around. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Let's take a moment again to cat stretch. And think about how that feels in the back. To then sink back and walk the fingers away. Now, does that feel any different now? Can you go any lower than you went before? Hands over to the right, left hand on top, head down low. Hands over to the other side when you're ready. And then bring it to centre. We're going to turn our toes under, come back to our calf stretch. And again, I want you to think about there, does that feel any different than it did before? Can we get our heels any closer to the floor than we could before? We take a breath, and as we exhale, we walk our hands back to our feet. We correct the feet under the pelvic bones. And you are going to slowly roll, vertebrae by vertebrae. Bring the neck and the head up last. Let's just take one roll down. Inhale. As you exhale, roll down as far as you want to. Remember, you can stay with the halfway if that feels better for you. But let go of any last little bit of tension from your body. Let it fall out of the crown of your head. Inhale, exhale, and you stand. Standing a little taller and standing a little stronger. You take a breath, inhale. As you exhale down, you find your perfect Pilates posture again. Everything comes back into alignment for you. We take another breath. As we exhale now, we're going to bring our pelvis back into neutral, but without the aid of our hands. And think about those muscles in the bottom being so important. And one more time, inhale. And as you exhale, you grow taller. As if your spine has lengthened, your shoulders are away from your ears, neck is long. Let's take your right arm up and your left. Your right hand forward and your left. Your right palm in and your left. And give yourselves and each other